Hey my friend, today I'm gonna show you an easy formula to remember how to play quick chord embellishments with your chords to add beautiful colors and little melodies inside your chords. So let's get started. So in a previous video on my channel called 16 chord progressions great for songwriting, if you haven't seen it, here's a link. I played the chord progression straight and then I improvised some embellishments and I realized that I was doing always the same thing, which is to use sus2 and sus4 chord embellishments. And I'm going to show you how you can find that easily on the fretboard in any key you want. So let's do it in the key of C major first. C major has 7 chords in the key, right? And this time I'm gonna play spread triads instead of full bar chords because it's a lighter voicing, which is going to give us more room to play for some embellishments and more fingers available to play them, right? So I'm playing it the voicings like this. So basically, I'm just removing the third string on all of the voicings, and I'm using finger picking instead of a pick because that way I can really target which note I want to play and which ones I want to avoid, right? So I'm playing the strings 5, 4, and 2 with my thumb, index, and ring in that case, right? So the trick is very easy if you want to find sus2 or sus4 chord embellishments. If you start from a major chord, you have to locate where is the third of that chord, and with those voicings, it's always the note on top on the second string. That is the purpose of a spread triad chord, to put the third of the chord on top because that's the most colorful note, that's the most important note because that's the note that's telling us if the chord is major or minor, if you lower or raise it, right? So if you want to play a sus2, you have to lower the third 2 frets down. So it's that note right here. So 2 frets down. It's going to be on the 3rd fret, and in that case, I can bar it, but I can play, like I said, with finger picking to target only the strings that I need. Because if not, it's going to give us a chord that's outside the key that quite doesn't work, so I'm going to play only the strings that I need, right? So if you want a sus2, it's always 2 frets down, and if you want a sus4, it's always 1 fret up on from the 3rd. Right? So I can just stretch my pinky in that case. So then, whenever I play that root chord right here on C, I can always target those 2 notes to create little melodies and embellishments, right? And then if you start from a minor chord, let's say the 2 chord, D minor, it's the exact opposite. If you want to get a sus2 chord, you have to go 1 fret down. So the minor third of the chord is here on the 2nd string once again. So 1 fret down is going to give us the same shape where we bar and we play with finger picking only the strings that we need. And if you want a sus4, you have to go 2 frets up, which is exactly the same shape once again, right? Right? So major, it's always 2 frets down for sus2 and 1 fret up for sus4. And starting from minor is always 1 fret down for sus2 and 2 frets up for sus4. And it gives you the same exact voicings. Now the problem is that we cannot play sus2 and sus4 starting from every chord in our key because sometimes it's going to land on a note that's outside the key and doesn't work in our key, right? Luckily, it works on the 1 chord, the root chord, and on the 2 chord. But if I start from the 3 chord on E minor and I play a sus2, that doesn't work because the note that it gives me is an F sharp. And in the key of C major, we have only natural notes, right? C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. No sharps, no flats. So if I get a sharp or a flat, it's outside the key. So I cannot play a sus2 embellishment on the 3 chord. I can only play sus4. Because the sus4 now lands on a note of our key, which is A. And A is in our key of C, right? So I'm gonna give you the formula for every kind of chord structure in your key, right? So on the 1, the 2, the 5, and the 6 chords, you can always play both sus2 and sus4 embellishments. On the 3 chord, you can only play a sus4 embellishment. On the 4 chord, you can only play a sus2 embellishment. And on the 7 chord, which is diminished, usually we don't play a sus chord with that. But technically, you could play a sus4, which is gonna be in the key, but you cannot play a sus2, right? So if we play on each chord, that's how it's gonna go. Right? So let's say that you have a song. Let's get more practical right now. Let's say you have a song which the verse is the chord progression C, D minor, F, and G, and the chorus is A minor, G, and F. So instead of playing it straight like this, you can add those little embellishments to add movements and melodies inside your chords, right? And same with the chorus, you have A minor, G, and F. And now on the 6th chord, A minor is the 6th chord, you can play both. On the 5 chord, you can play both. And then on the 4 chord, you can only play the sus2, right? So that's gonna get more interesting if you add. So that's something that you can do, but you can do that with way more than just those spread triads. You can do that with almost any chord voicing that you want. So let's say we take the same chord progressions, but this time we use open chords. So we have C, open, right, D minor. Then F, instead of playing a bar like this, I'm gonna play it like this. Because if you play a big bar, you don't really have any fingers like available to play embellishments. So I prefer to keep, to remove the E strings and keep that. And then G, right? So it's the same principle. You have to look at where is the 3rd of the chord, and then whether it's a major or minor chord, you know how many frets to move it up or down to get the sus2 or sus4, right? So in that C chord, the 3rd of the chord is on the 4th string, right? So we have the root, which is C, 1, 2, 3. The 3rd of the chord is the note E on the 4th string, 2nd fret. And we also have the open first. So I'm not going to play the open first because if I want a true suspended chord, I need to have it once only in the chord. So same principle, I'm starting from a major chord, so the 3rd is here. If I want a sus2, it's 2 frets down, so that's going to give me an open 4th. And for the sus4, it's 1 fret up, so I could use my pinky on the 3rd fret. So on the D minor, the 3rd of the chord is the note on top on the 1st string, right? So starting from minor, it's 1 fret down for the sus2, which is going to give me the open string. And 2 frets up until the 3rd fret for the sus4. After that, the F chord, it's the sus4 chord in the key, right? So you remember we can only play sus2 on the 4 chord. And the third of the chord is on the 3rd string. 2 frets down is the open 3rd. And many players play the G chord like this. 1 finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. And you only play the open 4th, 3rd, and 2nds. And then for the sus4, you can use the 1st fret of the 2nd string. And then you could even use the sus2, which is the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and use a double sus2 and 4. So we could do the same thing right here and use embellishments in this way with open chords. So you can apply this principle everywhere. Locate the 3rd of your chord and then you move up or down to have the sus4 embellishment. If you want more help on how to find that in any key you want, because we did it only in C major in this lesson, go check out my free mini course. It's a spread triad crash course. So not only you're going to reinforce what you've learned in this lesson by playing spread triads, but I'm going to show you other places you can play them on the fretboard with other voicings for the sus2 and the sus4 so that you can play it from the 6th string. And then in the second module, I'm going to show you how to do that in any key you want. You have exercises, chord charts that you can download. It's an online course format, so it's going to be super helpful and you'll be able to apply the principle on applying sus2 and sus4 chord embellishments to your playing. So once again, it's the first link in the description box below. It's my gift to you for watching until the end. Thank you very much, and until next time, au revoir.